today I wanted to show you a very basic chili recipe. I've made chili several times over the years, and most of the time I never even followed a recipe. I just kind of threw everything into a pot and it came out good. So I finally decided to write down what I'm doing and kind of stick to something. That way my family can make it if they want to when I'm not here sometime. So anyway, I'm going to show you this basic recipe. It's not like a fancy chili. It's not super spicy hot or anything. It's one of those recipes that is good just by itself, very simple and basic. But if you want to change it and add some things that you like or change some things around a little bit, you can do that too. So here are the things that you're going to need. You'll need a pound of ground meat. You can use ground beef. We're using ground venison. You'll need a quart of beans, and this is just a mix of dry beans that I canned here at home. You can use the store-bought equivalent to this. This is a quart. I don't know how many jars or whatever. Probably a large jar of beans or 2 small cans of beans would be the equivalent. But use whatever beans you like. These, I can't even remember what kind they were, pinto or something like that. And then for the tomatoes, we're going to do these large cans. We have a can of crushed tomatoes, a can of diced tomatoes, and a can of tomato sauce. You will also need 1 large onion that's chopped up, a whole bell pepper, green pepper, and I like to put in chili powder and garlic powder. If you have fresh garlic, go ahead and use fresh garlic. I like to put in cumin and a little dash of sugar just to offset the acid from the tomatoes. I'm going to start by browning the meat, and I'm going to put in the peppers and onions in with the meat and cook them kind of all together. Now, since I'm using venison, there's not much fat in that at all, so I don't really have to drain the meat when it's done cooking like you do with like ground beef that has a higher fat content. So the meat is browned and the veggies have just started to cook, so I think we're ready for the rest of the ingredients, and we're just going to put them all in there together. Got the beans. What do you got there? This is the crushed tomatoes. This is the tomato sauce. Crushed tomatoes, okay, now it's time to add the spices, and even though these come with a sprinkle top, I gotta take the top off because it takes forever. So I'm just going to put a bunch of chili powder in here. I never measure it, but I think I probably put at least a tablespoon or 2 in here. And same with the cumin. I don't measure it, but let's see, there's probably maybe a teaspoon left in here, and I'm just going to put the rest of it in there. If I had more, I might put more of that in there because I really like it. And then garlic powder. Just gonna give it a good sprinkle there. If you have fresh garlic, go ahead and do that. And we'll do some salt. Not too much to start. I'll taste it later just to make sure that it tastes right salt-wise. And then some pepper, just regular black pepper. Just a little sprinkling of that. And then some sugar. I would say about a tablespoon or so. It doesn't take very much, just enough to add a little bit of sweetness in there. And then stir everything together. Now I'm going to keep the heat at about medium and let this come up to a bubble, and then I'll turn it down and let it simmer for about a half an hour, and then it should be done. You could certainly put this into a crock pot and let it go on low all day. That would probably be an easy meal idea if you wanted to get this ready in the morning, you know, for supper time later in the day, or even a day or two ahead of time, and then throw it in the crock pot in the morning. Then you have dinner ready. So it's a really easy, flexible recipe. Like I said, I don't measure much of the ingredients that go in there. It's a very forgiving recipe, thankfully. And if you want to change the seasonings around a little bit, add a different kind of vegetable in there, or leave something out, if you want to leave the meat out, you can certainly do that. So we're going to let this go for about a half an hour, and we'll come back and test it when it's done. All right, here we go. This is the finished chili. It's been simmering for a good half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, somewhere around there. And I did taste it for salt, and I think it's about right. So I think we'll dish some up. There we go. But very good. This is comfort food. This is perfect for a cold winter day like we're having today. Pretty much any time of year we can have chili, but it's especially good in the winter, I think. This recipe makes enough for our family of 6, and we usually have about, I think about 6 or 7 cups worth left over, you know, for lunches the next day or whatever. So it makes a good sized pot of chili for us. What I would like to know is how you make your chili. Do you put certain things in your chili that are unusual, or you especially like certain seasonings or anything like that? Be sure to comment below. I'd love to hear how your chili is. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.